Hey everyone and welcome. Have you ever stopped to think about the magic that happens when you click a link? A whole web page just appears on your screen. It feels totally instant, right? But there's this incredible journey happening in the background. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain and figure out how the internet actually gets to you.
Here's what we've got on tap. We'll kick things off with a big idea behind what a connection even is, then we'll look at all the different ways it can get to your house. After that, we'll check out the rules that keep things from turning into total chaos online. We'll also see what else your connection is for besides just browsing. And finally, we'll take a peek into our super connected future. So yeah, let's just start with that one big question. You type, you click, you scroll. But what's really going on? What's the invisible bridge that connects your laptop or your phone to, well, the entire digital world? That bridge is what this is all about. All right, first up, let's get a handle on the most fundamental piece of the puzzle, the connection itself. It's the absolute foundation for everything we do online.
You know, when you boil it all down, an internet connection is just that. It's the link that lets your device join this gigantic, worldwide network of networks. Without that link, your phone is basically just an island. But with it, it's part of a massive global continent of information.
And this analogy just makes it all click, doesn't it? If the internet is the world's biggest library, jam-packed with every book, video, and conversation you can imagine, then your connection is that one absolutely essential library card. It's your ticket to get inside. Okay, so you have your library card. But here's the thing, not all library cards are made the same. There are a bunch of different physical paths that all that digital information can take to get to your screen. Let's dig into what those are. So, these are the big ones. A ton of us use cable, which cleverly piggybacks on the same lines that bring you TV. Then you've got DSL, which runs over old-school telephone lines, a real lifesaver for areas that don't have cable. Fiber optic, well, that's the speed demon of the group. It sends data as literal pulses of light through tiny glass threads. And get this, it's not just underground. There are over 1 million kilometers of these fiber optic cables crisscrossing the ocean floors, physically wiring continents together. It's wild. And of course, there's mobile data, using cell networks so we can stay connected pretty much anywhere. But what happens if you're way out there, far from any cables or cell towers? That's where these cool, specialized connections come into play. Satellite internet literally beams the connection down from space so it can reach almost any remote spot. And fixed wireless, it's kind of like super long-range Wi-Fi, shooting radio signals from a tower to a little receiver on your house. So, we have a pathway. But how is all that traffic managed? How does your request for a funny cat video find its way from a server halfway across the globe directly to your screen and not, your neighbor's? For that, you need some rules of the road. The first gatekeeper you meet is your Internet Service Provider, or ISP. The easiest way to think of them is like the ticket booth for the Internet Highway. Companies like Comcast, AT&T, or Verizon, they're the ones who sell you the ticket, which is your data plan that lets you get on the road in the first place. Right, so once your ISP lets you onto the network, they give your device a unique IP address. And this is exactly like a digital home address. It's not a suggestion, it's essential. When you ask for a website, the internet needs to know precisely where to deliver all that data, and your IP address tells it exactly where you are. But wait a second, that brings up a good question, right? We don't type a long string of numbers like 172.217.14.228 to get to Google. We just type google.com. So how on earth does your browser translate that simple name into the right numerical address? The secret sauce here is something called the Domain Name System, or DNS. And honestly, the best way to think of it is as the internet's giant phone book. You type in a name you can actually remember, like example.com, and the DNS system instantly looks it up, finds the matching number, the IP address that the network needs, and connects you. It's this invisible, lightning-fast translation that happens every single time you visit a website. So far, we've been talking a lot about websites. But that internet connection, that digital library card of yours, it unlocks a whole lot more than just the World Wide Web. Okay, this is a big one. People mix these up all the time, so let's clear it up. The internet is the actual physical infrastructure. Those deep-sea cables, the cell towers, the massive power-hungry data centers that store everything. It's the roads and the rails. The World Wide Web is just one of the things that runs on top of that infrastructure. It's the collection of websites and pages, the destinations you visit using those roads. And as you can see here, the web is really just one piece of the pie. That same internet connection also powers your email, your instant messaging apps like WhatsApp or Signal, and all those voice and video calls on Zoom or FaceTime. Think of them as different types of vehicles, but they're all using the same internet roads.
So finally, let's look at where all this is headed. These connections have evolved at a mind-blowing pace, and that brings both some incredible opportunities and some pretty serious new challenges.
I mean, just look at this timeline. We went from this slow, experimental military network back in the 60s to the always-on, high-speed broadband that became the norm in the 2000s. And now we're in the era of 5G and the Internet of Things, or IoT, where pretty much everything from our watches to our refrigerators is always online.
And that right there highlights a massive trade-off. It's a real double-edged sword. As our connectivity goes up and our lives get more convenient, so does the built-in risk. Every single new connected device in our homes is another potential door for cyber attacks or privacy issues. It's a tricky balance that we're all trying to figure out.
This is exactly why this idea of netiquette is more crucial than ever before. And it's not just about being polite in the comments section. It's the whole code of conduct for how we behave respectfully and, just as importantly, safely in a world where our digital and physical lives are basically one and the same.
And that kind of leaves us with a final big thought to chew on. As the Internet of Things just keeps expanding and literally everything from our cars to our coffee makers gets connected to this global network, the question of how we protect our digital lives and our privacy, well, that's not just a tech problem anymore. It might just be one of the most important questions of our time.